So now we're going to talk about how to repair this. What I want to talk about for a minute now is just that when I work with couples in this way, it's important they learn how to listen and understand the deep part of their hurt. And when they start understanding that, then they can give each other empathy and they can start reconstructing a new story. So we're going to go into that now. And, you know, it's important that they have more curiosity than argument, because the arguing is what I call the court of law. It's, you know, you're never there for me. I'm always there for you. I do everything wrong. You do everything right. You don't get the groceries. Yes, I always get the groceries. That goes nowhere. And what happens is couples get very threadbare. They get tired from going round and round. So they're needing to really heal this deep part. And so thank you for your work. We're going to now talk about how to make it better. What I want to ask you, Emily, is to ask Damien, what if you had a wish and you could wish for your wild dream, if you could...
I had a wish, or if he had a wish?
If you had a wish. And that's why I statements are really important, because it's important that we talk about your personal wholeness and growth and his as well. So we want to ask you what you wish for from him that would heal you. So if you waved a wand, what would you request from Damien? What would your relationship be like?
I wish that I could be considered more, like, and it's beyond like going out with a friend. It's just like, I just want to know that you're considering me as a part of your life that matters.
So I just want to say something about this. The request, why it's so profound, is that what you want from Damien is going to help Damien be a whole person in all of his life, in all of your life. Because if Emily is feeling like you're not responsive to her, that you're not a team player, then other people are probably experiencing you that way too. At work or at home or in the neighborhood or in your, you know, sporting activities or whatever you're doing. So it's really useful, this request. So Emily, if you made it specific, what might Damien be able to do differently, say in the next couple weeks? What would he do? Would he return your calls more promptly? Would he, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just consider my feelings if there's something, and my time. Like if there's, like, I don't always expect a text back right away, but if it's time sensitive or something like that, yeah, like maybe I don't like to feel ignored or pushed to the side.
How is it for you to ask for that?
I mean, it honestly kind of sucks that I have to ask for that, but I mean, it's fine.
Because asking is really hard. All of this work is hard, but it's hard with so much hope Because when you ask for something, you're like you're using your anger to say what your needs are. And anger usually has to do with unmet needs. So you're really empowering yourself by saying, here's what I really need. And you're empowering Damien because he needs to be more more responsive, to have more connections with you and with everyone. So Damien, what would you request of Emily if you could have a wild dream, a wild wish?
I guess to feel like maybe there are some things about me that are just good, that you like.
I like a lot of things about you.
I guess like maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's just me, but I feel like there are a lot of expectations, or I feel a lot of expectations, and it feels weird because I get why they're there, like I should be all those things.
Wait, let me stop you. So you feel like there are a lot of expectations, and that's your wound. That's where you get stuck, is you get feeling like you're not adequate. But what if you asked her, if you made a request, what would you want from her? And maybe it was something you didn't get enough of growing up. Or maybe you didn't get enough of it in sports. But what would you want from her? Can you even guess, or would you like me to help you?
Like somehow to feel like I'm doing something right, maybe, or like even like one of the ways, all of the things I do wrong or the flaws that I have. I don't know, maybe you like some of that. I don't know.
Okay. So maybe one of the things I'm hearing is you would like more compliments or more acknowledgement of the things Emily does like about you?
I guess it feels weird to ask. I don't know, it feels kind of silly to ask for someone to like compliment me, but
Okay. So it doesn't feel comfortable to ask, but how will she know if you don't ask? So Emily, what are you hearing Damien say?
I don't think that's silly at all. That you'd like some more recognition for positive things. I don't think that's silly. I like that too.
Right. So she would like to give that to you. How does that feel? Kind of unusual, huh? So I'm going to add one thing here. I'm going to guess, because sometimes with clients, it's hard to guess. And tell me if I'm wrong, because I could be completely off. But I'm guessing that you would really like it if she was less critical. And how would that feel if I said to her, Emily, Damien would like you to be less critical. How does that sit with you?
Okay, I mean, if it's in a situation like the one we were just talking about, I can't really pretend that was just fine, but yeah, if I'm overly critical about little things that are kind of like, if I'm nitpicking you, I'm sorry. Like I like to talk about it, like I like to know when that's happening, because I don't want to make you feel that way.
Well, I'm just wanting to say that this request portion, it's important, because if you need to become more forthcoming in your own life so that you're more dynamic and more connecting with others, and if you need to be more direct in making requests and less critical about those things you need, that's empowering for you. And so do you both see kind of how the feelings of inadequacy have fueled this kind of place where you get critical and angry and you get withdrawn or rebellious?
Mm-hmm.
So how would you both wish this to be? I imagine there was a time in your lives you were in love, you were happy. Are you wishing for more of that?
I'm not unhappy.
I see a smile. You're not unhappy. Okay.
No, it's, yeah, I just want more, I just want us to be more considerate of each other and just generally nicer to each other.
And Damien, how about you? How does this feel? Has this session in any way been helpful, or do you still feel some questions are coming up for you?
I mean, I guess I feel like I have questions, but it kind of feels like that's good in a way. I don't know, that I'm just looking at some things and like realizing more, I guess, about why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so that feels helpful.
Okay.
And it's nice to hear that she does like me.
So I just want to say something as we start wrapping up the session, is that you two can do this at home. It's useful to work with me a number of times so that you get good at the communication. But can you see how interrupting the argument helped you to really hear each other? And more importantly, you heard yourself. So this is really, I joke with couples I work with that this is really free therapy. I mean, for you to do at home over time, over the years to come. And then if you have children, you'll teach them, this is how to communicate. It's not you did this wrong and that, and no, I didn't, and then you're off with the boys and the kids aren't getting any attention. If you do have children, there are things that you're learning here that'll be communication. We never learned relationship 101 in school. We didn't learn communication. So you'll be able to model this for your kids to sit down and not interrupt, but not do the court of law, I call it, where you said, no, I didn't. I didn't say that. I did not come up. I did not miss that 6:00 appointment. Yes, you were late. You were 15 minutes late. You won't need to do those arguments and debates. You'll be able to hear each other, make real clear requests, and then your children will learn that, and then we'll change the world. So I'll just show you my little drawing that I give people because this is for kids, but it's also great to remember. So when you get confused and you're at home trying to figure out how to do this, now I don't know if you have a dog or a cat. This is the dog. So this is how you remember to do this. When you sit down, your first I is I feel. Only I statements. No you. Just I feel. And then the other one listens. The other eyeball is for saying your intention, or your desire, which is I wanting to feel closer, I want to feel better with you. It's too tense at home. And the wish is like blowing candles off a birthday cake. I wish we were like we were when we first got married. I wish you would call me back because I feel loved when you do that. I want to feel cherished again. I want to feel adequate in your eyes. So that's the way to do it. And then I have a little joke I give people that everybody likes. This is a picture of what it's like when you don't get along. And you're up all night like a broken wheel going round and round and round and getting nowhere, right?
Like
Does
there's
this
two cats who also have
And then you also have a cat. So usually there is a cat in here as well. So, and where's the cat? Oh, anyway, so I guess the last thing I want to say. Oh, is that the dog again?
Yeah.
This is not my.
There's a cat.
There's the cat.
Adorable.
All right. So the last thing I just want to say is that the wish is really important, because that's like in Star Wars when the Obi-Wan Kenobi, when he waved his wand and made it better. The asking for what you want is hard. When you were growing up, when you were little, when you were 5, and then you were 10, and then you were 20, and you were going through all kinds of things with not feeling enough, not feeling adequate, not feeling pretty in school, or your parents maybe weren't very acknowledging or complimenting you enough. You didn't know you could ask for what you need and be heard. And that's power. So you're moving the wound from the wound to the repair, the wound to your empowerment. And so the reason we have so much war and divisiveness and prejudice and, all kinds of conflict, we have school shootings, things are really not getting much better in the world. And the reason for that is people don't do what you two just did. So thank you, because you just did work for the world. And I believe couples can change the world and relationships if we learn how to talk to each other. So for more information, feel free to contact me at my website, conversationswithkatie.com. And don't forget, in a delicate dialogue, in a difficult conversation, listen well, reflect back what you've heard, and ask for what you need. Deep listening and respectful conversation can change the world.